Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame here in Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm Jon Alba, joined alongside by Jordan Katz of Q30 Sports and Jaden Daly of A Daily Dose of Hoops. It's a great blog. You should check it out. And gentlemen, we are here as Quinnipiac officially gets inducted into the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Now, I'm going to bring you guys in to start. What does it mean for this school to be inducted into this conference? We'll start with Jordan.
It's a lot for the program. You know, you talk about an athletic program that started as a Division II school and has quickly transitioned not just from Division II to Division I in the Northeast Conference, and then now has moved to the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Big step up in competition for most of the sports, but Jaden particularly for men's and women's basketball.
Oh, no doubt, Jordan, especially with the men's and women's basketball teams coming off the success that they've had in the Northeast Conference. The women's basketball team, winners of 18 out of 18 in the regular season, running the table and winning the Northeast Conference Championship before ultimately falling to Maryland in the NCAA tournament after giving the Terps a scare in the second half. And as for Tom Moore and the men, well, the Bobcats should be in the top 5 if all goes well. Ike Azotam and Usman Drame both coming back for their senior and junior seasons, respectively. This is a team, John, whose physicality will serve them well in the MAAC. They're expected to be one of the leading rebounding teams in the conference.
And we had a chance to speak with assistant coach Scott Burrell of the men's team, and he mentioned how they're pretty much set down low, but the problems could arise up near the guards.
Absolutely, especially with the younger guards, Evan Conti, Kendrick Ray as well. Head coach Tom Moore had also mentioned that he's looking for James Ford to see some more significant minutes. Shaquille Shannon and Umar Shannon, no relation, the transfer from St. Francis University, who will be eligible to play right away, also coming off of an injury suffered at St. Francis. Hopefully he'll be back in healthy playing shape and 100% for the Bobcats this season.
Umar Shannon's a guy, John, that you and I have spoken about, that we like his game a lot. We think it's going to fit the bill for this Bobcat team very well. One of the keys has got to be Evan Conti, though. Evan Conti had a good end to last season in the Northeast Conference. He's got to take on a bigger scoring role now for this team out of the guard position, because if you're going to rely on Kendrick Ray and Shaq Shannon, they're primarily perimeter shooters. They're not great at creating their own shot. Evan Conti showed the ability to do that last year. I think he's one of my big players for that team.
Now moving over to the women's side, Jordan, it's been pretty much put on the record already. It's Marist or bust here for Quinnipiac. Do you believe that to be true?
I do. I think Iona has a very good team. Iona has Joy Adams, who was the Rookie of the Year last year. Jaden, we were talking earlier how she had so many double-doubles, 13 and 10. But it's Quinnipiac and Marist. Quinnipiac's coming off a year where they go 30 and 2. They go 30 and 2 until the loss to Maryland, which put them at a 30 and 3 record in the NCAA tournament. Undefeated in conference. Now Marist did the same. So that rivalry, I think, is going to become full blown here in the early stages of this upcoming season.
Oh, no question about it, Jordan. Quinnipiac and Marist will be the top 2 teams in many predictions as we start this new MAAC season. But as you said, Iona can't be counted out. They do have a new head coach in Billy Godsey replacing Tony Bozzella. All 5 starters are back, including the reigning MAAC Player of the Year, D'Amica Martinez, who enters her junior season. But it is Quinnipiac and it is Marist. Brian Georges' team has won 8 consecutive MAAC titles, John, 9 in their last 10 seasons. And this is a team whose sum as a whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Almost like Marquette on the men's side, that you get contributions from players like Casey Doolin, who flirted with a triple-double in the MAAC championship against Iona. Players like Sidney Coffey, who started as a freshman and can play any position from the point guard to the power forward. This team is just so disciplined and so fundamentally sound. And it'll be a hard task for head coach Tricia Fabry to take this team and defeat the Giant in Marist going into this season, but it will be a fun opportunity, no doubt.
Absolutely, and just a couple more quick ones here. Guys, do either of you see this Quinnipiac Bobcats team, men or women, representing the MAAC in the NCAA tournament this year? Let's start with you, Jaden.
Well, John, it's really hard to tell right away. As we mentioned with Marist on the women's side, 8 consecutive championships and 9 out of 10 is really hard to go against. And on the men's side, you have a consensus top three, basically, with Manhattan, who brings almost everyone back for Steve Masiello. George Beeman is back for his senior season after a medical redshirt. Iona won the conference last season. They lose Momo Jones, but they reload. David Lowry is back for his junior year. Sean Armand, the senior, can hit a three-pointer from nearly anywhere on the court. Trey Bowman had the game of his life in the MAAC championship against Manhattan. And then you have Canisius with Billy Barron playing for his father, so he has some extra incentive to prove himself on every night. Going into his senior season, he's one of the best point guards in the nation, let alone the MAAC. So Tom Moore has his work cut out for him, especially in the backcourt. But the front court should be a very intimidating and imposing presence for every team that takes the court against the Bobcats this year.
Jordan, what do you think?
You've never known me to be shy or blunt, so this is very simple. No, they don't. I really don't think so. I think the Quinnipiac women have the best shot. I think the Quinnipiac women are going to be top two. I think they'll play in the MAAC championship. I don't know if they can take out Marist right away. It's going to be very interesting to see that battle, though. You talk about the two best players on each side. You talk about D'Amico Martinez going up against Jasmine Martin as far as a scoring standpoint. I think that's going to be a very interesting matchup, not to mention the fact that both teams go deep into their bench. That's a very interesting matchup there. On the men's side, I don't see it. I see a team that's going to be defensively strong for a MAAC conference. This is a conference that pushes the tempo. Iona, Manhattan, they like to get out and run and score. This is a Quinnipiac team that doesn't do that. They play half-court defense, solid. They rebound the basketball. None of these teams are going to beat Quinnipiac on the glass. So that's going to make them a very competitive team. I think they'll have a good season. Both teams. I think both teams are going to have a very good season. I don't know if either one of them is going to represent.
And then lastly, guys, real quick here. This school looking to climb the national radar, no doubt about that. Do you think the MAAC helps them do that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's no question about that. It's a step up from the MAAC conference, from the Northeast Conference. It's easy.
No question, John, especially given the fact that the MAAC has had at-large representatives in the NCAA tournament in the past. Manhattan in 1995, Iona in 2012. With a strong run and a solid non-conference schedule, this team could make some noise on a national scale. Maybe not necessarily the NCAA tournament per se right away, but almost certainly in the NIT or even the CIT or the CBI.
They get LaSalle on ESPN too.
Yeah.
That is a step up. You know, they had Robert Morris on ESPN3, but the fact you get ESPN2, I mean, you're getting that 24 hours of hoops. You're getting right there. You get a big television exposure out of this. Recruits are going to come in. This is a major step up for the school.
And you get LaSalle coming in off a Sweet 16 run, and Dr. John Giannini bringing everybody back from that team. Tyreek Doran, Tyrone Garland in the backcourt, Jarrell Wright, Steve Zach up front. This is a complete team that will be a contender in the Atlantic 10, and it's a team that Quinnipiac should be modeling themselves after to some degree as a team that is experienced, a team that knows the terrain in the later parts of the season, that really could make a run if all goes well.
Well, and I think that there's a lot of people out there who think that the A10 could eventually be another destination for Quinnipiac, but that's further down the line. Guys, it's been a great event here at the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. For more information on Q30 Sports, go ahead, check us out on Twitter at Q30 Sports, and also check us out on YouTube as well. youtube.com/user/Q30 Television. I'm Jon Alba alongside Jaden Daly and Jordan Katz. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time here on Q30 Sports.